Hello and welcome to my channel Computer Classes by Rachna. What we are discussing is computer vision, how it is different from humans, the way humans see the things and the way computer sees the things, and what are the basics of images. So we'll be covering these two topics here. First of all, you can see this diagram that when a human brain looks at any object, it is actually just looking at the object and identifying it from the knowledge it has from the real world. For example, if we look at an apple, we already know and seen what an apple is, and we know its shape. We have eaten an apple, we have an experience of eating an apple, looking at an apple, touching it and feeling it. So we can easily identify an apple. But if I talk about machines, they did not actually know what were the apples. So we have provided that information to the machine. Since we are learning things from childhood, humans are learning things since the day they are born, and since our childhood we have learned and identified and seen and experienced many objects. So we know knowledge about different objects. We know already about different objects which are available in the real world. But to make computer understand about these objects is to provide first a vision to the computer through which it can see the object, and then to provide knowledge about each and every object which the computer sees. So we have to train the computer to understand what object is there which the computer is looking at. So to provide that, we have to train the computer with some predefined information. For example, you can see in this diagram, the human eye looks at an object, say a bowl of fruits, and it identifies the fruits in the bowl with the help of its brain, because the brain already knows the content of this image. So the brain identifies there in the bowl there is orange, there is banana, there is lemon, there are peaches. So everything is identified by the brain because it has already seen it in the real world. But if I talk about computer, first of all, to see, it should have a sensing device, a camera to capture what it is looking at, and then it interprets that image with the help of what is being already told to the computer about the objects. It will compare all the knowledge that it has with the image that it has seen just now, and then it will give the output after interpretation that there's a bowl, there are oranges, bananas, lemon and peaches. So that's the difference between a human vision and a computer vision. It's not easy for a computer to understand what it's looking at if it does not have a prior knowledge to it. For example, if we see some unidentified object which we have never seen in our lives, we will not be able to recognize it. The same was the case with computer, with any object that it could see for the first time. So we had to provide training to the computer, maybe by feeding in images, maybe by feeding in data and information about every object which could be possibly seen by the computer. For example, I can give images of cats and I can give images of dogs to the computer, and I can give numerous images for each of them so that computer is able to identify a new image, whether it is of cat or it is of a dog. So this training is provided by us so that computer identifies what it looks at. This is what is computer vision system. Now the next thing that we are talking about is pixels. So we have already covered what are pixels in my previous video. Those who have not seen, please look at it. Please have a look and know the detail of what is pixel resolution. In my previous video, I've given each and every detail of it. Now, so pixel is basically picture element. Every image is represented in the form of pixels, in the form of rows and columns which are present on the screen, you can say. So every intersection of row and column is a pixel, and those pixels, more the pixels in the screen, the better the resolution and the better the image looks on the screen. All right, so pixels can be represented in the values of range 0 to 255, where 0 means black, and 255 means white if it is a color, if it is a black and white image. Otherwise 0 would mean no color and 255 would mean full color. Now we talk about the basics of images. So what is an image? It is visual representation of any object, and it means that a picture has been created or stored in electronic form. So what could be an electronic form? It could be in the form of GIF, it could be in the form of JPG images, it could be image is stored in the form of pixels. So it comprises of rectangular array of dots which are called as pixels. So these are the rows and columns. So please go through the previous video if you have not seen the detailing of pixel. So size of the image is always identified with width and height in the number of pixels, and there are different types of images. So first is grayscale image. Grayscale is the one in which the value of each pixel is single. It carries only the intensity information known as black and white. So there are no colors in the grayscale images, and RGB channels of pixels have the same value. What is the RGB channel? RGB stands for red, green and blue. So it's the colors. So the colors red, green and blue have same value in black and white images or grayscale images. These images have only two colors, black and white, varying from black at the weakest intensity to white at the strongest intensity, which means 0 is black and 255 is white. All right. Now a grayscale image has each pixel of size 1 byte, having a single plane of 2D array. And in grayscale images, the shades range start with 0 and end with 255. 0 is pure black and 255 is pure white. So gray would be some middle element value between 0 to 255. Alright, so you can see these are the images which are purely black and white. It does not have color. Another type of images are colored images, which are represented with RGB. RGB stands for red, green and blue. All the colored images around us are made up of three primary colors, and all the other colors can be made by mixing these colors. You can see in the image that these three basic colors, red, green and blue, when they are combined together, they can form different colors. As you can see, the combination of red, green and blue at the center, when all three are combined together, will form white color. Red and blue combination gives the pink color, and blue and green gives a combination of kind of this light color, and red and green gives a combination of yellow. So these, by mixing all these colors, we can get different colors. All right, by mixing red, green and blue in different intensities. All right, so every colored image, when split, is stored in the form of three different channels. So one is red channel, one is the red channel, another is the green channel and another is the blue channel. All right, each channel has pixel value that varies from 0 to 255. So if we see a turquoise color, the RGB band would look like 64, 224 and 208. So in turquoise color, the maximum is this 224 and 208 is the blue intensity and 64 is the red intensity in turquoise color. All right, so in a colored image, a single pixel contains a red, green and blue values in triplets. What could be the intensity of red, what is the intensity of blue, what is the intensity of green? All right, so RGB, red, green and blue channel. So how do computers sees as the image? Every colored image that is stored can be split into red channel, green channel and blue channel with different intensities. The computer identifies the value related to each pixel and determines the size and color of the image. So this particular image has been seen by the computer in the form of red, green and blue. It is seen in the form of red, green and blue channels, and then these are combined together to form the colored image. Can you see this? All right, so this is all about the basic of RGB and the types of images. One is grayscale, which is purely black and white image. Another is RGB, red, green and blue combination in the image. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for my next video, which explains the basic image processing operations like cropping of image, resizing of image, etc. Thank you so much. And if you have understood things, please like, share and subscribe my channel. See ya.